Hello and welcome. PCM SimGame Vuelta a Andalucia. Ruta Ciclista del Sol. It is a Pro Tour race. We're using the 2020 route and we are underway. Let's just check I haven't missed anything. I will just ping everyone again just to... Oh, hey Catulis. Nice to see you. 5-stage race. Cool. Let's see who our contenders are today. Ikea B&B with Kevin the Uncle, and we saw the race route pretty hilly with one TT at the end. A reasonably strong squad. Lawrence de Plus with, I guess, co-leader. Geez, they're all mountain guys. I guess there's no real sprint stage here. Bora Hansgrohe, Brandon McNulty is leading their squad. Cajaruel, Paul Double, Yitzbol. Pretty reasonable for Cajaruel. Lovely jersey. A Decathlon Edgy Ben O'Connor, of course, recent second place in the Vuelta. He's got a nice lot of domestic. Chacone for Team Dimension Data. Very African looking squad. Uskatel, Uskadi have a reasonable climber for a Conti team. GW Shimano, Tej Benut leading them, more of a puncher. I guess Maduara could probably be their leader. Groupama FDJ, Pale Bilbao. I guess pretty strong domestics there. Boki Mollem is probably going to be domestic for Chavez in Farm Frights. Kubatasake, you have Mark Soler. Michael Vink, key domestic, of course. Lotto Destiny with, must be Maxim Van Gils, must be the leader here. Oh, Matteo Jorgensen, my mistake, he's got decent TT. Mapai with Vlasov as leader. Mitchelton Premier Tech, Patrick Conrad. Nice lot of domestics there. Mikael Lander, I keep thinking this is Uskatel because of the orange, but it is Netherlands lottery instead. Nick Schultz, key ex-Israel Premier Tech rider. Santander have Emmanuel Bookman. Durbridge for the TT, hoping for a +5, but then Sudar Quickstep comes along with Remco Evenepoel and Ilan van Wilder, who could also be a leader in his own right. Saint Marco Uber with Jesus Herrada. Quickly going through the stages, we have mountain stage to begin with, medium mountain stage, little descent, finish stage 2, stage 3 finishes on a rise, wouldn't say mountain, but wouldn't say not hilly. Stage 4, another mountain stage, but ending on kind of a flat. And stage 5, a 13k hilly time trial. Last year, of course, Tadej Pogačar won. Lander, he's at this race. He'll be looking to better his second place. Of course, these are real results, not PCM Sim Game results. Favourite for the first stage, of course, Remco Evenepoel, Matteo Jorgensen, Bilbao, Chacone, Vlasov, Lander. You get the gist. Before we get into it, double check the settings. Normal 1, 1, and 5. 3D race. Let's get into it. So this is the 2020 route. Let's have a look, shall we? Who won? And did they actually race this race 2020? Oh, they did. Back at the start of February. First stage, one more now, was won by none other than Jakob Fuglsang. 6 seconds ahead of Mikael Lander, Dylan Tunes, Haig, Bilbao, Izagirre, Harper, De La Cruz, Hamva and Hoyker, and Ruben Fernandez. What a strong lineup. Perhaps we'll see something special happen again in this stage. There's our rider in the pack. We'll get him straight onto 0 and out of the way. Once again, that Mitchelton Premier Tech jersey just catching my eye. That dark blue, just very, very standouty. Carla Ruel, lovely jersey. Sudar Quickstep. I think all these jerseys. Ooh, national champion of Eric Treya. Test Fuzzion. Look at that. Interesting. Anyway, there's an attack gone up the road. More riders trying to join them. We'll wait till they get a bit more stat. Hey, German national champion Marco Brenner of Team Sudal Quickstep. Sudal Quickstep taking up the first lot of pacemaking. They're not happy with who's in the breakaway. Straight up to 55 kilometers an hour. Bora Hansgroth also helping out, and Mapai. So Vlasov must be on a good day. Currently trying to make it into the breakaway is Pernsteiner, Bao, Double, the leader for Ruel, Jablitzer, Ravasi, Kudas dropped from the front group, but it looks like they're all coming together. Yet boulders there, Dennis and Kenny Ellisond. Peloton's happy with the composition of the breakaway now. They're slowing down to 18 km an hour. Groupama FDJ rolling to the front ever so slightly. These 9 riders are allowed up the road. 2 from Ruel, 2 from St. Michael Uber, 2 from Farm Flights, 2 from Team Dimension Data, and there's another attack inside the peloton. Gisbert of Team Arkea B&B, Glivar of FDJ will not let him get up the road. He's possibly in danger, and they're just happy with the group of 9. There's a strong wind as well, look at that, 20 km an hour, slight tailwind, but that is causing the bunch to stretch out a little bit. Heading back up to the breakaway. Let's see what happens. We'll go a bit on ×2 till we get to the actual climbs of the day. Quite a few categorized climbs here today. 4 category 3s, 1 cat 1. And is the finish line giving mountain points? Or is that just... I don't know. Either way, in the intermediate mountain points, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, and 10, 22 mountain points on offer. 3 intermediate points. Josh Burnett on the front now for Mapai, Lotho, Destiny, Jorgensen. No, it looked like they were attacking when they Burnett, Jorgensen, and McNulty. Interesting trio of riders there. Gisbert not quite getting away, looking a little bit dead with the relentless pace set by Sudal Quickstep. The breakaway a bit annoyed that Gisbert's trying to get themselves across the gap as they want to not be caught by the peloton. They seem to be rolling around quite nicely. It looks like Ravasi's not taking a turn on the front. He's pulling back, allowing the others to do more of the working. Hey, St. Michael Uber's actually got 2 riders too. Oskatel's just got 1. Is it Oskatel? Is that the Netherlands team? I think it must be Oskatel because they're a Spaniard. Anyway, looks like Gisbert has been caught. Brenner's still on the front. They're still pushing a hard pace, but not really. The setup again, 33 km an hour. The gap to the breakaway is extended now to 2 minutes 20. First climb of the day, Puerto de las Avjas. Interesting climb. Cat 3 doesn't look too tough. Hopefully most of the breakaway can get up here. I think Dennis is probably the weakest in the breakaway. Everyone else is climbers. Unfortunate for him. He probably should have been doing a bit more work on the front earlier on, unless he hopes to maybe on a +5 and he wants to hold on to the end of the stage. We're starting up the climb now. They're still rotating around 20 km an hour, although there is a slight division in the bunch here all over the road. Kudas is looking dead. Unlucky for Team Dimension Data. That should be up to the other Eritrean. Still in the bunch, just not looking the greatest. Marco Brenner still on the front. The Groupama FDJ with Charles Page, Newhouse, and Burnett all doing work. The wind is increased in strength a bit, but not too strung out. At the front, for 4.4 kilometers to the intermediate sprint, we'll slow it down. We get to 2. We don't want to, take super long on one of these stages. Winds there we go. Wind should be increasing near the top. That's what always happens. Kudas on the front. The gap's still 3 minutes 40. Who do we think is going to attack? I think Kenny Ellison's going to go for it. Well, it'd be nice to see a rider from Ruel in that mountain jersey. 3 points on offer, more throughout the stage, so while it's not super important, it will be good. And Paul Double launches first, Ellisond on his wheel, Bo on the outside, Ellisond now tries to come round, swipe cheeky moves there from the rider from Ruel. A little bit of blocking, but looks like Ellisond, Bow, then Double. Those attacks have caused a few riders from the breakaway to drop. Dennis, of course, like we said, Jetzt, Boll is gone, Pernsteiner and Kudas. They have a minute to catch up on this front breakaway. Down a little descent, then back up another climb. Second cat climb of the day, the Puerto del Venito. Another 3 points on offer. And Kudas and Pernsteiner have made themselves back into the original breakaway. Jetzt, Boll slowly getting there. Dennis might get there, not entirely sure. Ooh, there's some splits happening in the main. No, there's not. It's just because there's no jerseys yet. My mistake. Anyway, yes. Looks like Bo has attacked. Ellison is going with him. They're holding 30 seconds on the Dimension Data led breakaway. Maybe the other guys were not contributing to the pacemaking. I guess that's what the game often says, right? All back together at the front, and the Spaniard goes once again. This time it's Paul Double from Caja Ruel who is able to follow Mojavi Kudas, once again being dropped from the breakaway. Dennis about to be caught by Marco Brenner at the front. It's all action here. Not sure why they're all attacking each other. Still a few kilometers to go. 100 kilometers to go even in the stage. Maybe they're going for personal glory, looking to see that Euskaltel jersey on the front of the peloton once again. Two kilometers to the top here. Reminder who got the most points last time: Ellison, Boo and Double, and all three of these lads are in that front bunch. They're joined by Ravasi and the Eritrean. Looks like everyone except for Kudas and these front five have been caught by the peloton. Meanwhile, we see Double on the right hand side of the road launching first. Bit of a squish. Ooh, it looks like Ellison got it. Followed by the Spaniard, I think the man from Dimension Data. Nope. Same positions as last time for our riders in the breakaway. Kudas is 2 minutes behind the breakaway, but still a minute ahead of the peloton, now being led by Lipovitz. Guillaume Boivin is up there, and Charles Page. It'll be interesting to see which of these three teams are ready to go in the final. I guess Sudar Quickstep, of course, they have Remco Evenepoel, Mapai with Vlasov, and Groupama FDJ have Peo Bilbao. There was a fall in the pack. Feoli of Team Santander is on the ground. He is back up though, he is riding. Hopefully he can catch back up. I mean, the terrain's pretty slopey downhill, should be easy for him to catch up. At least it's not difficult. Josh Burnett now on the front. Fast forwarding a bit, so we get through this little town here. Pretty much downhill to the next Category 3 climb, the Puerto de Arete. Another 3 points on offer. Will we see Ellison hold serve? Maybe farm flights in that mountain jersey. Looks like the peloton's all back together, so Kudas has been caught, and that Frenchman who is out the back is also caught. There's a few splits happening on these descents. You see they're going through the corners just a little bit quickly. It's causing a bit of, elastic, where they're bunching up, then stretching out, then bunching up again. Ahead of them they can see the breakaway. They're not too worried, the gap is only 2 minutes 40, still 78 kilometers to go. It's really going to be this final climb at the end where they're going to probably make the catch and probably hopefully see some GC action. Two kilometers to the next KOM point. The gap's sitting about 3 minutes now, so it's been going back and forth. Looks like Ellison's the first one to launch. Double gets to sit in his wheel. Ellison's possibly gone too early. Paul Double just dies before the lights. I think it's Ellison to Double, then Ravasi. Nope. Once again, it's, well, similar order. This time, Paul Double and the Spaniard have swapped positions. The gap extends slightly, but I think that's just because they were pushing on the climb, the break. The peloton not too fast, with Lipovitz and Brenner doing the pace making now. At the front, 1.6Ks to an intermediate sprint. Bonus seconds on offer and points in that classification. Paul Double launches first. We see Gibraltar on the right hand side of the road, and no one can get up the double as he takes maximum points there. Ravasi in third. At the back of the peloton, a rider has been dropped. Van Tricht of Team Pseudo Quickstep is out the back. He's possibly just struggling. I don't think we saw a crash through race radio, did we? Nope. No crash. Hopefully he can make his way back into the pack. Don't know why he was out back. Probably just not having a good day, not enjoying himself. The gap is extended now to 4 minutes for the breakaway. A few little hills and another Category 3 climb. I don't think the breakaway is going to make it all the way to the end, but I guess that's the point of them. They got to try. We see now the gap reducing ever so slightly down to 2 minutes 40. About to start the Category 3 climb, and it looks like Van Tricht did not get back on. He looks to be pretty dead and tired today, as he is now 5 minutes behind the peloton. Not a good day for him. Back at the front, they're about to start the fourth Category 3 climb of the day, the Puerto del Gestor. Once again, 3 points on offer. Paul Double, of course, holding serve. 10 points on offer at the final climb. It could be... Well, Double could still find... If he wins this one, he could still find himself in the mountain jersey, even if he doesn't make it to the end of the stage. The wind is reduced. That must be a bit easier on the lads here out on the road. Only 13 kilometers an hour now, although more of a head crosswind than the tailwind we had before. And I missed that because I was answering a text, but it looks like it is Ellison holding serve, Bowl second, and Double first, sorry, Bow second, and Ellison third. So still the main three riders. .225 is the gap, and more riders have been dropped from the peloton. Thijs Ertz is out the back, Scarponi, Feoli, Newlis, Dennis from that breakaway, and of course Van Tricht. There's a few splits happening in the descent. Like I said, a few riders just not holding on those corners. Looks like a lot of the Euskaltel squad. Mollema, Chavez is in that second bunch. Pickrell, Pedersen, a lot of the Caja Ruel boys. Hopefully it's just a temporary dropping. Michael Storer finds himself in no man's land between the two packs. Ooh, interesting times here for the riders. Engelhardt sitting near the back. Looks like they're slowing up this climb, so maybe Storer. Storer's dead. Michael Storer, one of the key domestics for Remco Evenepoel. Michael Bolocki trying to get himself across. A few more riders falling off the back. Lipovitz is gone now. Who's leading the front of the peloton? It is now Team Mapai. They've got Boivin, Grigard, and Hermans on the front. Vlasov must be feeling good. McNulty finds himself sitting towards the front. There's Evenepoel. Has he burnt off all his domestics? No, it looks like he's still got Van Wilder there. In the breakaway, they're still rolling around quite nicely together. We can see a little bit of fatigue in just the way that they are sitting on the bike. Who's dropped completely? Michael Storer is gone completely. Lipovitz in this second bunch, and of course we said Chavez is in the second bunch. Farm Fritz not quite happy with that. Lipovitz, domestic. Oh, even Walkerdoo and Mollema for Farm Flights in that second bunch. There's now Nick Schultz for the Netherlands lottery team doing some of that pacemaking. They're about to start the small slopes of the Category 1 climb, the Puerto Las Palmas. 13Ks, 6.4% average, 13.2% maximum. We see Guillaume Boivin drop back. Where is Vlasov? Here he is, sitting up towards the front. Barada is up here. Evenepoel's here. Lander, Van Wilder, Jorgensen, Bilbao. All the favourites find themselves now towards the front of the pack. Only a minute ahead of them is the breakaway. They are trying to hold on. Must be the likes of Paul Double trying to hold on to get those mountain points. Second bunch on the road. Mollema, Chavez, Lipovitz, and Jesus Harada. A minute 56 behind the peloton. trying to get back before the climb starts. Ooh, French national champion. I love a good tricolour jersey. AG2 Le Mondial. Beautiful. Beautiful jersey. Ooh, a little bit of cornering issues there. You see the breakaway. Paul Double, the first rider to be caught as he's sitting up. Jonas Grigaard still pushing the pace. It's now up to Tez Fazion. He's doing some of the pacemaking. Mark Donovan and Mikael Landa finds himself at the front of the peloton. I don't know what Landa's doing. Is he working for someone else, or is he deciding now's the time to go? Donovan's launching something, it seems like it. 14 kilometers to go. Only 8 kilometers to the top of the climb. The group is thinning out. Once again, Double E sitting up. We're seeing a few riders dropping off the back of the peloton there. Nick Schultz moving up. Landa's like, you bastard, you should have been there before. I had to put myself in the wind for a bit. Mark Donovan now pulling off to the side. Vlasov possibly finding himself too close to the front. On the right hand side, Ciccone with a little bit of an attack. Landa's the one who noticed. Landa counters. Vlasov then follows in Tij Benoot. If the pole, the last to react of the favourites, followed by the second tier ones, De Plus, Conrad, Kevin Van Quillen. They're leaving the rest of the bunch behind. Group of 8 favourites. Will they work together? Evenepoel is looking dead already. Still 4.5 kilometers to the top. Remco Evenepoel not looking the greatest. Andreas Kron trying to close this gap between the favourites and the main peloton. Vlasov finds himself on the front. Wrong place to be, buddy. Lawrence de Plus now attacking Van Quillen in his wheel. Ciccone and Vlasov following in behind them. Benoot, Van Gils. Where is Evenepoel? Evenepoel cannot follow. He can follow. Maybe he was just pretending he couldn't a bit earlier on. We're seeing Vlasov continuing to move up the climb. 2.7 Ks to go to the top. They're going through a tough portion now. 11.9%. Bit of a big division between these two bunch now. Van Gils, Pols, Jorgensen find themselves behind. Marc Soler drops from the group of favourites. Remco drops from the group of favourites. Only 9 riders together going over the top of the climb. 1.6 Ks to go. Come on, Vlasov, you can do it. Holding on. Ben O'Connor takes a turn. McNulty takes a turn. Some of these guys at the back. Ciccone needs to pull his weight there. We see Lawrence de Plus now dying at the top. Landa's looking a bit worse for wear. Only 300 meters to go. McNulty's taking maximum points over the top. O'Connor in second, followed by Vlasov in second. A group of 5 makes it over the climb together. The second group is Bilbao, Benoot, De Plus, and Landa. But where is Remco? Remco, biggest loser of today. It's going to come down to a sprint between these 5 men. Who's got the best acceleration here? Looks like Gil Ciccone should take it here. Vlasov leading down the climb. On the right-hand side is Kevin Van Quillen, who launches an attack. 900 meters to go. Still quite a few tight turns. Here's the finish line. Van Quillen has a slight advantage. Van Quillen on the inside takes victory in stage 1 of the Vuelta Andalucia. Top 5 favourites coming in together. Second bunch on the road. Bilbao outsprints Benoot, De Plus, and Landa. Third bunch looking a bit further back. Evenepoel has Van Wilder. Pols is here. Van Gils, Gespert, and Jorgensen. Evenepoel, I'm not sure what happened to him today, but he's losing quite a significant amount of time. We now see Marc Soler from Team Kubatasake out of it entirely, but still in the top 20. Here comes Bookman, Madawa, and Bethret, closing out the top 20 on the stage. Heading to the back of the row is Dennis, who's the last man on course. He's still climbing. 10 kilometers to go. Oh no, there's Van Thricht, my mistake. He should make it in time. 4Ks downhill, easy peasy. And there we have it. Just before the time cut turned orange. Sorry, Kaitilis. Pretty sad, but I had to point it out. Let's have a look at the first podium of the race. Here we see the finish line camera. Here comes the motorbike. Here come the riders. Van Quillen just on the inside. in what could have been a photo finish. So, Van Quillen wins the stage with Chicone, McNulty, Vlasov, O'Connor, 33 seconds back to Bilbao, Benoot, De Plus, Landa, and then the Poles group, which had, of course, Remco Evenepoel 1 minute 30 back. Of course, means Van Quillen is in the leader's yellow jersey. GC the same as the stage result. Best climber, Ellison and McNulty are tied first, equal on 10 points each. But I think Ellison for Hogarth and Farm Flights is in that orange mountain jersey. Vakulin in points, of course, for winning this stage. And Vakulin in the blue youth jersey, which will be worn by Maxim Van Giel's next stage of Team Lotto Destiny. Then we have confirmation that Remco Evenepoel is 1 minute 30 down. Team classification, Arkea B&B, look at that, doing very well on today's stage, Bahrain victorious in second, 33 seconds down. Very interesting stage, look at those time gaps already quite large. Let me export the results and post the results before we forget. Andalucia stage 1. So of course, Evenepoel lost a minute 30, Soler losing 2:56, Madawa 3:30. Any other big losers on today's stage? Where's Chavez? Chavez 6 minutes 20 down. Bit unlucky for him. No DNFs in the end except for Al Ryder. Van Tricht 42 minutes down. And the GC, same as the stage. Stage 2 looks like more a punchy kind of finish. Few intermediate mountain sprints. So it is regular points on the bottom. It just shows it red as because it is a climb. Favourites for the stage. If the pole looks to be the favourite, Vlasov, Van Gils, Benoot, Van Walder, Chicone, Madawa. More of the guys with higher hill, but more of a punchy stat. Vlasov not having that acceleration, so not looking the greatest as a favourite. Evenepoel will be looking to make back some time. Back in 2020, stage 2 looks to be won by Gonzalo Serrano. Juan Jose Labato in second, Dylan Tunes, Venturini, Haig, Fogelsang, Plancart, Izagirre, Pasqualin, and Marc Soler. Let's get our labels on. Let's go top 10 GC, top 10 climber, top 10 points. Of course, Van Quillen in yellow, Ellison in orange, Chicone on second in points in that green jersey, and Van Gils second in youth wearing that blue jersey. I have to say these jerseys are beautiful. They stand out nicely. And we have the first few riders trying to make themselves into the breakaway. I'm surprised Ellison is not trying, so he can get some more points there to outright win to gain some more points and try and win it in the actual outright sense rather than first equal. In the breakaway, two more riders from Santa Michael Uber. Dennis there once again, this time taking Reptile with him. Pernsteiner once again trying his luck, joined by Arns, Asperson, and Kobo from Mitchelton Premier Tech. Arkea B&B, of course, with the leader Van Quillen, they find the red jerseys on the front of today's stage. Starting off flat, few little hills in the middle, one Category 3 before the finish, and that little finish line hill looks to be quite tough that it's not a day for sprinters. Don't think there's any sprinters here regardless. Let's increase the speed of simulation before we get to some of the more interesting parts of the day. 4 minutes is the lead, still just the red jerseys of Arkea B&B hotels on the front. Best placed rider on GC is 11 minutes, and that is Kobo. So perhaps they might leave it for the breakaway today. Perhaps not. We'll have to see. Possibly not, as we see the gap's got to 8 minutes 20 and it's holding. There's 160 kilometers to go. Still okay. Oh, there we go. Dimension data is helping out with the pacemaking. That is why the breakaway is not being allowed to win. They'll be working, of course, for Chicone, who is doing quite well, sitting second overall. Puncture for Bastions of Team Kubota Soccer. He's about to find himself back in the pack. Convoy not helping him because there's no convoy here in this race. He's back in the pack. Back to the front of the race, 3.6Ks to the intermediate sprint, 3 points on offer, 3 bonus seconds. Anyone here we think is going to take it? They're not really going for it. Kobo is my pick of the day, but no one's sprinting for it. Lovely. As we see Dennis take 3 points and 3 bonus seconds there. 26Ks until we get to the top of the next category 3 climb. Of course, no one here has got any mountain points. So the best they can do is, if they get all of them, is 9 points, which would be second, but I don't think they'll be lasting all the way to that final hill. Peloton still trucking along nicely with dimension data on the helm. Okay, B&B have quite a few domestics there. Lilian Kalmajan, of course. Vlasov finds himself up towards the front. Hopefully he's protected by Thijs Ertz. I don't want him exposed to the wind. But saying that, 0 knots or kilometers an hour of wind. 3.4 Ks to the top of the mountain. They always go for mountain points even if they're not in contention. Hohensteiner looks to be possibly the favourite, or Kobo. Looks like Farm Frights and St. Mark Uber, who have domestics here. These are the domestics to protect their favourite rider. For some reason, Hohensteiner is protecting Arns. Not criticising, just saying it's a little odd. They've gone through the toughest section of the climb now. I say that as the percentage increases to 6.5%, 7% now. And Pernsteiner is the first to launch. His teammate Arns is straight on his wheel. Asperin from Uskatel is trying to come through the middle, but it's Pernsteiner, Asperin, and Kobo. We have 15 kilometers till the next mountain point. Apologies for going silent there, had to go grab some water. Kept the simulation going on ×1, just to make it a bit more fair and so we don't lose time. 6Ks for the next category 3 climb. I'm still betting on Kobo to take it. The Michelin Premier Tech rider, of course, was out of position at the start of that last climb. Look at this beautiful climb. 9.3% choice. Not the nicest time in the world. they're just all chilling together. The gap is now 5 minutes thanks to the work of Team Dimension Data, with Roland and Kudas on the front. Pernsteiner first to attack, Kobo right onto his wheel, this time Esperance in third place there. And trying something, Kobo on the right hand side, come on Kobo, but it looks like Pernsteiner might have just, nope, Kobo ahead of Pernsteiner and Esperin, well done. Still 6 riders out in front, and it looks like Dimension Data is taking up a lot more of the pace making than Team Arkea B&B. Mikael Lander exposed to the wind, his domestics chilling further back in the pack than he is. Probably not the greatest plan to have, but might work for them. Looks to be semi-plateaued, few little bumps, 36 k's to the intermediate sprint. Then we'll get ready for the last categorized climb of the day. Will they actually contest this intermediate sprint? Who knows? 4 kilometers to go. The gap is now 3 minutes. Dimension Data are doing very well to catch this breakaway. 1 kilometer to the sprint. Looking a little bit more get up, and Kobo's going for it this time. No one else is contesting. They're just trying to follow his wheel. Pernsteiner in second. Well done, Kobo. They dropped one rider, and looks like it is Dennis once again from St. Michael Uber who is dropped from the breakaway. Tesfazion doing some great pace making there. Dimension Data used quite a few domestics today, but they want to win, and you have to make some sacrifices to get to victory. 5 minutes up the road, still nil wind conditions. Farm Fritz still has 2 riders, and they seem to be doing most of the pace making. It looks like Mitchell and Premier Tech is, oh, they are taking turns now. The gap is reduced significantly down to 2 minutes. We see Arns is now dropped from the breakaway. The Netherlands Lottery now helping out in the chasing backs for Mikael Lander. Lander now feeling strong. Tesfazion leading the whole train of the Netherlands Lottery. We see Vermeike, Hamilton, Schultz and Engelhardt all helping out. Lander, who was exposed to the wind earlier on, kicked his team into gear, and they are ready to do some fighting. First rider from the breakaway, Arns, has been caught. Still 4 riders, 1 minute 30. About to start the Category 3 climb, the Puerto de la Parrilla. Should catch them easily. Look at the quality of these domestics that Lander has. Kevin Vankelen has Matthias Luval is his last domestic at the front with him. Haven't seen much of AG2R this race. Some of these top 10 in GC like the Plus find themselves too far back. Chavez, of course, 6 minutes 20 down. A minute is now the gap for riders out in front. The orange jerseys of Netherlands Lottery looking a bit like Rabobank, but not too much. We see Dimension Data going, what the hell are you guys playing at? This is how you catch a breakaway, as Tesfazion rolls to the front. They're officially on the Category 3 climb. We should see the pace increasing. Thijs Ertz still making sure that Vlasov is protected up near the front. Chicone, one disadvantage of using all your domestics is that you won't have any towards the end, but I think he should be able to manage without them. But Micah now doing a strong pull on the front, those orange jerseys lighting the peloton towards the top of the climb. Riders are now falling off the back. We say goodbye to a lot of the Dimension Data squad. Their job is done. They're about to catch the breakaway. Hopefully Chicone can finish it off. We see Rep 2 of St. Michael Uber dropping now, Asperin also from the breakaway. Very, very strong pace set by the Netherlands Lottery riders. Pernsteiner, the last man out in front, 2.2 Ks to the top. Van Welder now with an attack on the left-hand side of the road. The question is he attacking for himself or is he attacking for Remco Evenepoel. Ciccone and Vuelta poles now up at the front. Jesus Herrada, who's 15 minutes down, finds himself in that front group. Thijs Ertz having to drag the rest of the peloton back up. Vlasov is out of position. Andreas Kron takes maximum points over the top. He's continuing his attack. Ciccone, he's continuing after him. But the rest of the pack is led by the Netherlands. Lottery is coming after them. Can these two work together? It looks like Chris Hamilton has caught the riders out in front. It's all going to come down to a mass bunch sprint climb thing. Unless we see a cheeky attack on this little tiny ascent shortly. Looks like a perfect time for Ciccone. I'm expecting an attack from the left-hand side of the road. Oh, this time it's Andreas Kron going for the attack. I was correct, it was an attack. Van Wilder is countering, Ciccone is up there. Vlasov not feeling strong today, he's not chasing them down. Jesus Herrada's going for it. Kevin Vermaeke tries to chase it. Tushfeld's turn now. Ooh, they set up a bit that's not looking good for them. This group of three is getting away. Van Wilder, Ciccone, and Kron. Behind them is Herrada. It's going to be one of these three. Looks like Ciccone is riding himself into the yellow jersey today. Peloton hesitated a bit too. Well, they hesitated. They were stupid of them to hesitate. Kron is the first rider on the climb. Ciccone is sprinting full gas. 500 meters to go. Ciccone, is he going to come around Kron? It looks like Andreas Kron's going to hold on to take victory for Bora Hansgrohe. Van Wilder taking over just ahead of Ciccone, but that does mean Ciccone's got enough time on everyone else to take over the yellow jersey. Well done to Will Ciccone. And the rest of the bunch all finishes together. Small split here to Ellison and Double, but I don't think that's anything. Nah, it's all coming back together. So well done, Andreas Kron, Van Wilder, and Ciccone, using the small climbs to your advantage. Let's see what kind of time cap you have in the results. Podium, Andreas Kron 4 seconds ahead of Van Wilder, and Ciccone 15 seconds back to Herrada, and 34 seconds back to the peloton. Well done, Bora Hansgrohe, on your stage win. That means, of course, Gil Ciccone in the leader's jersey, 30 seconds ahead of his companions from stage 1. Vankulin, O'Connor, Vlasov, and McNulty, and then a minute back to Bilbao, Landa, Benoot, De Plus, and Kron, moving up to 10th position overall. Best climber is McNulty and Ellison, still tied on 10 points each. Vlasov third with 8 points, unaware of that. Points classification, Ciccone, of course, good placing this stage, good placing last stage. He is 36 points in the green jersey. Best young rider, still Kevin Vankulin, 1 minute, 1 second ahead of Van Wilder, and minute 31 back to Evenepoel. Team classification, still Arkea B&B, Bahrain still in second. Interesting second stage. Really annoyed Vlasov didn't follow those attacks, but well done to Ciccone, best GC man there, and of course well done to Kron for taking the victory stage 2. Results now in there. Everyone else finishing 34 seconds back. When it gets down to Nihu's, all the domestics, Ruben Thompson, Ellison, Mollema, Chavez losing more time at minute 28. Any big losers? Not really, just a whole lot of domestics. And then we have the GC, we see the changes. Top 10 changing, slight few orders in these riders who are on the same time. Of course, Ciccone up 2, Kron up 2 because of those seconds he gained on today's stage. Van Wilder now sits 11th, 131 down. Evenepoel 2 minutes down now. Stage 3, more of a mountain stage. Category 2 climbs, Category 1 climbs in the middle, and another pretty shitty finish for the riders. Evenepoel, Bilbao, Jorgensen, Ciccone, Vlasov, Van Wilder, and Landa look to be the favourites. Stage 3 on this 2020 course was won by none other than Jakob Fuglsang on a wonder year in 2020. Peo Bilbao in second, McNulty third, then Izagirre, Eon that is, Mark Soler, Dylan Teuns, Jack Haig, Mikael Landa, Anton Tolhoek, and Mauritius Lammertink. Those are some throwback names. I say throwback, I think. Is Tolhog still racing? He was for Circa any colour, but not anymore. Anyway, look at those jerseys on the front. Of course, Chicone in yellow, McNulty in orange for the mountain, Van Wilder for youth, and Van Quillen in green for points. Once again, all three lots of labels on. Who's going to be in the early break? It's looking a little wet, and with quite a few descents on the road, looks like we could be having some crashes. Although none of the descents are super steep, it seems, unless they don't put gradients on descents anymore. Three riders find themselves in the breakaway. We're looking at some of these Santander riders trying to make themselves in there. It looks like it. Durbridge trying something up the road. Franco, Pernsteiner, Giladu of Cajaruel, Durbridge, Casemiro trying to get themselves in there. Pablo Torres not happy. Is he pacing or is he looking to attack himself? I'm not sure, but Euskaltel sending quite a few riders to the front. This is classic Euskaltel fashion, not in the day's breakaway, so let's send everyone to the front of the peloton to pace. Oh, very wet. At least there's no wind, but very bloody wet. Small climb to start, because you know that's just the best way to start a stage race. Small climb, down a descent, and then oh, Mark Donovan, what are you doing? Mark Donovan and Ravasi trying to get themselves in the breakaway. I don't know what you're doing there. I think Vlasov needs you on today's stage. Kobo, Bo, Double, and Ravasi, all those riders from the first and second day's stages back in the break. Of course, remembering Paul Double is sitting 5th in the mountain classification. 4th is Bo. Excellent. And I was right, Hans Wilch of Santander was looking to get himself in the breakaway. There's 11 men now out in front. Looks like some of these guys will actually contest the mountain points, so it could make for an interesting stage. 4 minutes is the gap. Who's on the front of the peloton? Fernandez of Lotto Destiny, Glivar of Groupama FDJ, Zamponi of Dimension Data, not surprising, De Combel of Arkea B&B, and Netherlands Lottery with a few riders there. Interesting. Back at the front, 3.5 kilometers to the mountain points. I'm expecting Paul Double and Mark Donovan to be the favourites for this. Paul Double's got a bit more acceleration, but then so has our Spaniard. He's got 74 mountain, 72 acceleration. 2.2 Ks to the top. Here we go, 1 kilometer, the action's about to kick off. Paul Double is looking at everyone, but no, it's Pernsteiner who once again launches first. Getting the top-down view for the line. Kobo swings across with a cheeky little block, and it looks like it was Kobo, Bo, and then Double. Kobo, Bo, and then Donovan. Mark Donovan for Team Mapai GB, managing to gain some points there. Gap is 4 minutes 50. Yes, Dimension Data's on the front now, so they're going to keep the gap in check. For, of course, Chicone, who is the race leader, possibly wanting a stage win out of this event. Oh, a Category 2 climb now. That gives 6 points to the first rider across the finish line. 6, 4, 2, 1, 4 places worth of points. Climb is taller, but it looks a little bit less steep than before. No one's really working nicely on the front. Casemiro, 3 riders from Mitchell Premier Tech. Casemiro, Kobo, and Franco. 2 riders from Cajaruel, Gildu, and Double. Santander with Durbridge and Wilch. And everyone else just has single Euskaltel, Farm Frights, Mapai, and St. Michael Uber. Is Pernsteiner going to launch from the front once again? It looks like he is ever predictable. Paul Double tries to come around them, so does Bo. Looks like Kobo is... nope. And our Spaniard takes maximum points there ahead of Kobo and... nope. Bo, Ravasi, Kobo, Double. Excellent work by the Spaniard. Gotta stop guessing and start looking. or Category 1 climb, Puerto de Solera, average 7.2%, max 12.5, 5.9 kilometers. That looks like a fun time. Let's get ahead to that. Gap to the breakaway, sitting about 6 minutes, fluctuating plus minus 20 seconds every so often. Must be dimension data on the front. Riders going back to grab water, and it looks like we're on the climb now. Quickly check back on the peloton. Lotto Destiny on the front, still a big mix of teams there. Pernsteiner goes, you know what, stuff you fellas, I'm not going to ride on the front. You guys have got domestics, I'm just by myself. No one's really taking up the pace making, so it's a bit of a leisurely ride for some of these riders. Luke Durbridge is the worst mountain climber in this bunch. That's why he's just chilling at the back, trying to sit in the slipstream. About halfway up the climb now. Still just chilling. The peloton's at the bottom of the climb on the slope below them. They might be able to see them shortly. The Spaniard from Euskaltel, who's looking to take the mountain jersey on today's stage, is moving up towards the front of the peloton. 10 points on offer here for the first across the line. 10 points is, of course, the person who's in the mountains jersey. So getting that would already put you either equal with them or above. And Pernsteiner first to go once again. Double and Bow up there. People at the back of the peloton. Durbridge will Jaloux looking a little bit worse for wear. Coming down to a sprint. Pernsteiner has been gapped, but it's Bow, Kobo, and then Pernsteiner, double, Ravasi, and Donovan with another point. Well done to Bow, who is now the outright leader on 25 points, ahead of Kobo, who is on 17. Another Category 1 climb coming out today, looking about the same kind of difficulty, a bit longer, possibly a bit less percentage, so depends what kind of climber they are. But on the descent there is an intermediate sprint for 3 points, and of course those 3 ever important 3 bonus seconds, which the riders in the breakaway always care deeply about. Kobo, you're going to try something? You are. I was correct, but you set up. Taking second with your teammate Casemiro in first. Looks to be no crashes so far, which is really good for the race. The riders are keeping all upright, just possibly a little bit wet. Oh, there's a puncture for Josh Burnett of Team Mapai GB. Engelhardt also at the back with him. He has fallen. Domestic, of course, for Mikael Landa. Burnett for Vlasov. Burnett not the greatest domestic, but he's always there when we need water. Engelhardt, I don't think they're 2 major losses for the team. Hopefully they make it within the time cut. Here we go, we're about to start the second Category 1 of the day. 2 minutes 40 is the gap to the peloton, which is led by Ruben Thompson of Groupama FDJ. And Lotto Destiny, so that's that Maxim van Giels. And who's Groupama? Is that Bilbao? It is Bilbao. They must be feeling strong today, which is good news for the likes of Chicone, O'Connor, all those riders who are not, well, who are high up in GC. They don't have to spend their domestics. Mark Donovan pushing the pace for the breakaway. Average 4.5%, so it is way easier. Average half the average, but it is 15 kilometers long, so what's that, like 3 times the length almost. Puncture for Newhouse. Domestic for Remco Evenepoel. He is out the back, but he's not as far back as Burnett and Engelhardt, but he is out the back nonetheless. 8 kilometers to the top. We're on a short plateau before the terrain goes up once again. Will we see an attack from either here or inside the peloton? I think it's still too early with 60 kilometers to go. Casemiro looking a little bit worse for wear. 3.5 kilometers to the top. Ravasi, if I were him, I would have sat behind, not the strongest on paper. And with no teammates, I would have let the likes of Mitchelton, Premier Tech or Carl Ruel do some of that pacemaking. Luke Derber is doing very well with only 65 mountain. And the peloton still is now Borade for Team Groupama FDJ. Looks like the sprint is starting. It is a mass sprint from the breakaway to gain these mountain points. Bo, of course, the virtual mountain jersey. He wants to take more points to extend the lead, but dies before the line. Kobo takes maximum points. Donovan in second and Double in third. That moves Kobo ahead of Bo by 1 point. The rider from Euskaltel not feeling the greatest, as we see the riders at the back of the breakaway. Casemiro, Gildu, Durbridge and Wulch. Will they rejoin together? Not entirely sure. Anything happening in the peloton? Nope, they're just going full gas down the hill. A few riders have been dropped. Sebastian Berwick, Ruben Thompson, they were on the front, driving the pace there, of course. A lot of these other riders, Glivar, Fernandez, Page, same thing, they've done their job. They're now heading back to the Gruppetto to recover. Small splits happening on the descent. Riders just dropping the wheel in the corners. Looks like all the top 10 in GC were keeping safe there. But hey, it's a bit of a long descent before a Category 2 climb. Let's head towards that. We see a crash. Franco. Luckily we were on him. Well done, Franco. You're up, still riding. Your teammates will not wait for you. Let's try and get a time gap now, shall we? Let's mark from Donovan. And we'll go back to the likes of... That's where Chicone. We'll do Chicone because likely he's going to attack. 2 minutes 33 is the gap from the front group on the road back to the peloton. It's 50-50 whether they'll make it or not, with 30 kilometers to go, and then there is some climbs also. And saying that, the gap is now 1 minute 16. It's definitely a day for the peloton. 22 kilometers to go. They're about to start the final categorized climb of the day. Puerto de Beza, Category 2 climb, 5.7%, max 7.9, and it is 8.2 kilometers long. A lot of the original breakaway riders have been caught. It's just Bo Ravasi who are holding on in no man's land. Still these four out in front. Double, Pernsteiner, Kobo and Donovan. Two Brits versus the world. A lot of riders out the back of the peloton. Looks to be a lot of the St. Michael Uber squad. A lot of domestics. Once again, they've done their job. It's only 20k's to go, so it's not the hardest race in the world. Kubata Sake looks like they're trying to move up on the left-hand side of the road. All the top 10 in GC sitting in the first half of the bunch. Will we see an attack from any of these riders? On this hill we will. Kevin Vanquelan is on the offensive. Matteo Jorgensen is in his wheel. Who is going to chase them down? Looks like it is Jonathan Lastra trying to pace up, but instead he blocks Bilbao, who was trying to jump across. That's not looking like great tactics. Lipovitz and Stora, are they going to be working for Van Wilder? Or are they still working for Remco Evenepoel? Although he's 2 minutes down. Perhaps he could make that up in the 13k time trial on the final stage. Not entirely sure. Vanquelan now passes the breakaway, but the peloton catches him thanks to the efforts of Lipovitz and Stora. Chicone has been moved up by his Eritrean teammates towards the front of the pack. Vlasov, of course, sitting too far back in the pack to be doing anything worthwhile. They're about to come over the top of the hill. There's an attack on the left by Kobo. He wants to gain more points, and he's swamped on the line. Still didn't gain any points, but he's now still 1 point ahead of the Euskaltel rider, Jean Bao. There we are. Get rid of that time gap as we see Donovan way out the back. All the domestics now coming to the front. 10 kilometers to go. It's a nice little plateau before a short, sharp climb and then a final descent to the line. If they're going to try and make a win for the stage, they'll have to go on that mountain segment. There better not be Thijs Ertz in front of Vlasov. It is bloody hell. 67 riders in this front group, 7 kilometers to go. What can we expect? I think Ciccone is going to do another attack. That's why Land is sitting in behind him. Vlasov sitting too far down the pack as per always. 6 kilometers to go. They're on the final plateau. There's going to be a short descent, and then it looks like they're going almost back up the same street again. 5 kilometers now. Will we see some GC riders move to the front? Looks like Benoot's moving to the front. Bilbao also. They're going quite quickly down here. 63 kilometers an hour. 3 kilometers to go. Here's the climb. Will we see something? Here's the final climb before the finish. 2.5 kilometers to go. It looks like Gigat is leading out 12 poles. A cheeky attack from Poles, who's sitting in 12th perhaps. Meanwhile, Bax has dropped the wheel. This front group of 8 riders is allowed to escape. 7 riders now out in front. Vlasov's going for something. Come on, Alexander Vlasov. Alexander Vlasov is sprinting, but he is outmatched by Tej Benoot. Van Wilder. Tej Benoot takes the sprint ahead of Jorgensen. Van Wilder, Bilbao looks like a small gap. Back to the second bunch on the road. McNulty, Vlasov, Landa, and Ciccone all safely through. Ooh, there is a gap now to this next bunch, but I think all the top 10 in GC were safely in that front bunch. God damn it, Vlasov, you did well, but too early in the stage, or for not long enough. Well done, Tej Benoot of, is that GW Shimano? I guess this was the stage for you, more of a puncher than a mountain climber. Well done to Evdopol, top 10 in the stage, top 5 even, after poor performance in the previous stages. Oh, radio highlights don't really show much of the finish line. There they are, all sprinting in. Let's have a look at the podium. Tej Benoot takes the sprint ahead of Jorgensen, Van Wilder, Bilbao, and Evdopol. Same time for everyone. Just bonus seconds on offer. Did anyone lose time in today's stage? Maybe some of those bonus seconds helped out in GC, and they did not. Ciccone still in the lead, 30 seconds ahead of the same as before. Vanquilin, Vlasov, McNulty, and O'Connor. Bilbao, Benoot, Landa, De Plus, then Kron. Of course, Ivan Kobo, we saw, took that last mountain sprint ahead of Joan Bow. Now moves 1 point ahead of him. Paul Double down to 3rd. Points classification, Kevin Vanquilin gained some more points there to take the jersey back off Gil Ciccone. Young rider still Kevin Vanquilin at minute 1 ahead of Van Wilder. And Arkea B&B still in the team's classification. Bahrain Victorious now only 2 seconds behind, gaining 31 seconds over that last stage in the team's classification. There we have it, mass sprint finish of the front 30 riders. Chris Hamilton last across the line. Ben O'Connor, ooh, he was dangerously close to losing some time there, second to last across the line. Tez Fazion in between those next 2 bunches, then Nick Schultz leading them there. Moving down, no one kind of, died. No one crashed out. Then we see the changes in GC. O'Connor, of course, dropping 2 places. Vlasov and McNulty up 1. Benoot and Landa just swapping positions there. Is there no bonus seconds on the finish line? There is no bonus seconds on the finish line. That makes sense. But Benoot gaining 1 place over Landa in the GC. Evenepoel up 1 place, Poles down 1. Just some swapping, no real time gaps there. Vakulin up in points, Kobo up in mountain, youth still the same, and team still the same. Stage 4, the final mountain stage before the time trial. Looks to be more of a day 4. I mean, I think that's how far from the finish is that climb, 106. So that's about, what's that, 17 kilometers to the finish. Perhaps a small breakaway of favourites could get away if the pole is the favourite. He's still got those 2 minutes to catch up on Ciccone, who is the third favourite. He'll be watching all those moves. Vlasov, Jorgensen, Bilbao, always up there in the contenders. Oh, that's what I'm forgetting. Real life results. Stage 4 was won by Jack Haig, ahead of none other than, you guessed it, Jakob Fuglsang, then Mikael Lander, Brandon McNulty, Ion Izagirre, Dylan Teuns, Marc Soler, Alvaro Kudaros, Harm van Hoyke, and Andre Zeitz. Of course, Fuglsang still in the lead of that race. And here we are, back in the race. Some of those jerseys on display there at the front. Ciccone in yellow, Kobo in the orange, Mountain Vakwalin in points. And where is the youth jersey? Still on Van Wilder's shoulders as second in that classification. We will bring up all the top 10 in those 3 classifications. Looks to be pretty kind of boring stage at the beginning. Few Cat 3 climbs, 1 Cat. Holy shit, that Category 1 climb looks like an absolute tough day. You know, you go through tough sections at the bottom, it eases out a little bit. You get to what you think is the top, you go down a descent, and then back into some more hell. Max 14.4%, the Alto del Perche 7.9% average, and 8.6%. 8.6 kilometers long. And it looks like Kovo, and is taking a domestic with him, is Tura, to help him try and maintain. Nope, they're not the same team, it's just that orange jersey looks the same. My mistake. Is Tura and Kovo try to find themselves up towards the front of the race with Gigat, Berstagi, and Wulst. Peloton being led by Farm Freitz. Are they trying to get Ellison in the breakaway? And Caja Ruel also leading the peloton. Maybe a day for Esteban Chavez, I think. More riders getting into the breakaway. Chavez, yes, trying to get himself into the breakaway also. But Zamperini, as always, Dimension Data, they have been absolutely brilliant this race, chasing down all of the attacks and the breakaway when needed. Let's see who's up the road in the second bunch. We've got Tercero from Caja Ruel, Bocke Mollema, Ruben Thompson, Remy Rochas, and Emmanuel Bookman. Quite a strong second breakaway. I can see why Team Dimension Data have decided it's up to them. Also, the colourful Mapai GB helping out on the front. I have to show you the Mapai GB uniform because it is just bloody beautiful. And of course, so is the Team Dimension Data. So we'll speed it up. Oh, what happened at the back here? There was a crash at the back. Everyone looks to be alright and back up on the road. Jetzt, Bol, Tors, Gliva, Bonema, Mikkels, Barade, Bogard, and Pickerel. That riders should get back into the peloton. Yes, they do. Bit of an odd place to crash, but we'll speed it up before we get so we can get to the climbing and make the race a bit more exciting. The real question is, will Ruben Thompson get a professional contract for 2025 IRL? I don't think so. But well done to him for completing the Vuelta a España. Maybe he'll go to one of those Pro Conti teams like Burgos has got a few Kiwis, as we saw. Aaron Gator now at Astana. And there's an attack by 2 riders, Remy Rochas and Bocke Mollema. They are not happy with what's happening in the breakaway. And the breakaway taking a little bit of time to react. So yeah, that just shows that a lot of people must not have been working. Rochas, is he going to roll through? Looks like it's just Mollema. Mollema is just feeling full of energy like he was back in the day. Ruben Thompson trying something. He's got shitty acceleration, so it's not working out well for him. 4 riders have been dropped out the back. 3.4 kilometers to the top of this Category 3 climb, the Puerto de Neva. Interesting climb there. It's got little segments of upper hill, flat, upper hill, flat. What's wrong with Pink Sodell? Nothing's wrong with Pink Sodell. Nothing's wrong with Pink Sodell. Did I say something was wrong with it? My apologies. I just like showing my jersey. But I mean, Remco Evenepoel absolutely mudded in the race. Pink Sodell, I'd say, is definitely better than Blue Sodell. We definitely missed the pink in the peloton. Although I'm saying that EF Education's pink, but Pink Sodell. At the front, Mollema is attacking 200 meters to the top of this climb. He takes a hit of Bookman and Kobo. Kobo, of course, extending his lead in the mountain classification. Since tomorrow is a time trial, today will be the last stage where you can get mountain points. So Kobo's done the right thing. Bo from Euskadi did the wrong thing by not getting the break. Also, today, New Zealand time, 13th of the 9th, I think. Let me just check something. One moment. I think today is... Yeah, today is Žiga Horvat's birthday. Everyone could go wish our Slovenian friend happy birthday. And at the front, it is Itura, Kobo, and Mollema. Mollema takes it. Kobo second, Itura in third. Not sure what Mollema's game plan is. Maybe he's just bored of the race and hoping to bring some excitement. Yes, your team has decided they want to be awful again. You're right. If we have a look at the GC, Soudal Quickstep, I mean, you're in 11th and 12th. Van Wilder, of course, with that time he gained on stage 2. And Evenepoel just sucked stage 1. Breakaway all split up now. The second bunch, well, third bunch of the breakaway, Rochas, Gigat, Bruch, and Thompson not really caring. Back in the peloton is still Mapai and Dimension Data doing the pace making. 6 riders out in front: Kobo, Tura, Bookman, Wulch, Mollema, and Tercero. Will we see another attack from Mollema? I am expecting it. And the breakaways all together again. Will we see them hopefully working, or will Mollema decide he has to attack once again? Going over these small little rises here, a few riders dropped off the back. Dennis, apologies man, once again off the back of the race. If we had to pick someone to, gain an award for, trying the hardest, so one of those participation awards, there would definitely be you, Dennis. In the break, 2 days, out the back, 3 or 4. You're doing really well, man. Keep it up, you'll improve one day. Next up on the course for us is an intermediate sprint point. 6.4 kilometers to go. Will we actually see the breakaway sprint for it? If we do, I'd like to see... I think Kobo would take it, because Kobo is always excited about those points. But I was going to say Emmanuel Bookman. I think I want to see him do some work there. Bookman, of course, running for Team Santander. 3.3 to go to the sprint. Bookman working on the front. Oh, it's at the top of a climb, this intermediate sprint point. Thomas Dennis. Pink Sodell needs him. Yeah, Bookman's chilling at the back. Probably not the best place for him. Go on. For 300 meters, no one's going to sprint for it. What a waste of my predictions. Gigat takes it for Team Bahrain victorious. And we're about to start the Category 1 climb. Only a few kilometers to the bottom. The breakaway holds 2 minutes 56. Do we think the breakaway will make it over the top before the peloton? I think the peloton will catch them on the climb. 3 minutes on this climb. You've seen how tough it looks. It looks absolutely brutal. Will that change who's on the front of the peloton? It has. Farm Frights. No, Kubota Sake of Marc Soler find themselves at the front. Where's the rest of Team Dimension Data? They are chilling in the peloton. They've been chasing all day. Same with Team Mapai. Although Vlasov and Ciccone find them keeping themselves towards the front of the bunch. Scarponi. Not Michele Scarponi, but instead L. Scarponi of San Marino. Doing some work. Or at least showing his face at the front. The gap is reduced significantly. We're not even on the proper climb yet. Here we go, we're about to hit the tough percentages. What is that? Why is black not the highest? Only 10% here. Oh well. Will we see an attack? Thijs Ertz looks to be blocking the road there. Andreas Kron's going for something again. Arkas up the front. The breakaway still has 2 minutes. It is Gigat leading them up the climb. Itura moving up the breakaway, trying not to drop. There is Evenepoel. Is he working for himself today? Perhaps he is. Chavez, of course, not doing great. McNulty. Kron is working for McNulty. McNulty 4th overall. Remembering, of course, Ciccone has a 30-second lead on the rest of... on the next lot of GC contenders containing McNulty, Vlasov, O'Connor, and one other who I have forgotten. And the breakaway is being caught now. Only a few riders left out in front. Mollema, Thompson I'm surprised about, Bookman, Itura, and Remy Rochas. 3.6Ks to the top. Remembering it flattens out, and then it goes once again steep again. Kevin Vermaake, he is moving Mikael Landa up to the front, I think. Nope, Landa's just chilling out behind. Ruben Thompson now dropped from the front. Mollema dropped. He's been very excitable in today's stage. Mollema gets the most combative jersey award. At the front, we see Remy Rochas rolling away with Itura. Here's that little descent we talked about. It looks like, hey, we're at the top. The climb's finished. Thank God for that. But then it climbs once again straight up to 10% in the final 500 meters. Back to the favourites. There's still no action happening. Will it come down to a sprint? A few riders have been dropped in the second bunch. Kobo's out the back. Chavez is gone once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Who are we missing from the top 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, McNulty on the front there. That's why I'm missing the counting. McNulty's launching an attack over the top. Kevin Vakvolin is following. Everyone's in the wheel. All the favourites there. Vlasov on the back, though. What a bad place to be. Missing out is Bilbao, Binut, De Plus, Kron on that front move by Vakvolin. O'Connor and Vlasov just sitting off the back. Not, like I said, not the best place to be. The breakaway still holding a minute 40 advantage. Remy Rochas, I was wrong. The favourites will not catch the GC men on the climb. But will they catch them overall? We see a regrouping of the favourites at the front. 28 men now in this bunch here. Will we see some domestics try and pull the peloton up? Remco's back in the bunch here. There he is there. Vakvolin doing some of the work. He is 2nd overall, remember. 1st in that points classification. Let's grab Ciccone. Let's put a time marker on him. Let's go to the front and let's grab Rochas. Put a time marker on him. 2 minutes 13 is the gap to the front. 6 kilometers to go. It's anyone's game here. Rochas attacks his breakaway companion. He drops a Itura of Team Euskaltel. Bookman trying to ride up to the front of them. Landa now from the favourites launching attack. Evenepoel, O'Connor and Van Giel's following. Where the fuck is Vlasov? Vlasov's on the radio saying, bro, where are you? But the team is dropped out the back. Vakvolin takes it upon himself to chase this attack down. 400 meters to go for Remy Rochas, who wins solo for Team Bahrain Victorious. But in the favourites group, it's going to come down to a sprint. Landa leads them out. Evenepoel now going for it. Andreas Kron, Ruben Thompson from the original breakaway is still here. And they're all finishing on the same time. These favourites, but Vakvolin leads them across the line. He's trying to defend his points jersey there. Probably not a gap to these guys because it is a flat finish, but we will see. Definitely a gap to these guys. Anyone of the top 10 losing time. No one really too important. Let's fast forward it and let's have a look at the final road stage results. Last rider, Thomas Dennis, is still on the course. He's over the climb though. 9 kilometers to go, just chilling down that descent. Well done, Thomas Dennis. Highlights of the race we don't really care about. Let's have a look at the podium. Remy Rochas of Team Bahrain Victorious takes the stage. 39 seconds ahead of Mikael Itura. 53 ahead of Bookman. And then 2 minutes 12 back to the favourites group. With Vakvolin leading across the line. Kron, then Evenepoel, Van Giels, Ciccone, Ruben Thompson from the original breakaway. holding on with the favourites, and Ben O'Connor in 10th. In the GC, who lost time? Did McNulty lose time in that stage? It looks like he did. He lost 7 seconds. Brandon McNulty, unlucky. Also, I think that's the same actually. Ivan Kobo extends his lead in the climate classification ahead of Yuan Bo to take the victory in that classification. Points classification still Kevin Vanquilin. 12 points ahead of Ciccone. It looks like he has it unless Ciccone wins the time trial, which is unlikely with the likes of Remco Evenepoel here. Youth shoes will be Vanquilin, right? Yep. Ben Wilber 108, Evenepoel 131. And Bahrain Victorious take over the team's classification, as we see who had that Arkea losing 4 minutes 56 on this stage. There was a time gap, a very, very slight time gap, because it is a mountain stage. We get mountain time gaps. 7 seconds is what Benoit lost. McNulty, Bilbao, Soler. Vlasov keeping up in the front bunch with the likes of Ciccone, Maxim Van Gils, and Evenepoel. A lot of other smaller time gaps on the stage. Let me post the screenshot before I forget, but well done to Remy Rochas, winning stage 4. Let's have a look at that GC. O'Connor gains 1 position after McNulty loses those 7 seconds. No other changes in the top 12. Down below, a few changes. Poles down to Jorgensen up, Van Gils up. Unlucky. Points classification still Vanquilin, Mountain still Kobo, Youth still Vanquilin, and team we said is now Bahrain Victorious. Here comes the individual time trial. It's 13.7 Ks. Looks to be, it says medium mountain or hilly race. There's a few hills. Favourite, of course, Remco Evenepoel, McNulty, Vanquilin, Vlasov, Van Wilder, Jorgensen, O'Connor, Bax, Bilbao, and Soler. Perhaps the likes of Ciccone can pull something out of the hat to win the individual time trial. Stage 5 was won by Dylan Turns of Bahrain Victorious, same time as Jakob Fuglsang, Alex Edmondson, Pel Bilbao, Brandon McNulty, Ion Izagirre, Jack Haig, Chris Harper, Nelson Oliveira, and Sonny Cobrelli in 10th. Of course, that solidified Fuglsang's win in the Vuelta Andalucia 2020. Here we are, rainy time trial. No crashes in time trial. Actually, it's been no major crashes in this race so far, so that's looking pretty good. Thomas Dennis, man of the hour. I hear a rumour he's going to Pink Soudal next year. Leads us off in the race. Let's have a look at a bit of the close-up. Yeah, there's quite a few hills in this T. Holy shit, TT. Fast forward a little, as we don't really care too much about these riders at the end. It's only really the top 10, well, top 20 actually, because remember, Evenepoel is outside of the top 10. I'll fast forward on times fall till we get to possibly a TT specialist like the likes of Bogard. Second. Who's he second behind? Niehoofs, apparently. Must be more of a mountainy stage than a TT stage. Pedersen, Van Tricht, Fernandez. Who else are we looking at? Ooh, looks to be definitely more of a climby stage. Obviously, Tercero taking the best time at the intermediate split, 8 minutes 50. Looking at the finish line is Newhouse, who has the best time. Fernandez now on 17:22. Hate commentating TT because I have no clue what to say, no clue who to look at. I guess we'll just look at people who are in the top 5 at the first intermediate sprint until we get to the top 20 riders. Andrea Rossini sitting third, 20 seconds down. He is 100th place. I guess we can times 4 it till we get to the top 60 because they won't do anything major. They might win the stage. He does not. Belocchi, of course, the son of what's his name? I can't remember his name, but you know who I mean. 7th overall. Charles Page 6th. Any other top 10? Michael Vink for Kubate Sake. Gets the ball. Oh, here we go. Portuguese terror. Antonio Morgado for Team Hogarden Farm Frights, catching his teammate about to catch Uga. He is doing a brilliant time here, 8:43 at the first time check, 3 kilometers to the finish. He will set a new best time, it seems. But how long will he sit in the hot seat? Only by 5 seconds. Ruben Thompson did well last stage. Pablo Torres doing well. I guess hill climb really counts through up here, and then I guess TT and flat for the final section. Yeah, Torres down to 5th at that finish line checkpoint. Looks like no one really big coming through now as we go through the 76th position. Oxenberg sitting 10th, 35 seconds down, not going to be too great. Roland for Team Dimension Data, 28 seconds down at the first time check, sitting 6th, now 7th, coming across the line. What will we see? 7th, 39 seconds down. No one really contesting that. Casemiro of Team Michelin Premier Tech. Well done. Looks like all the Portuguese Spaniard riders are doing quite well in this TT so far. Will we see Portugal 1-2 at the finish line as Casemiro rounds the last corner? Nope, 3rd place, 26 seconds down. Top 60 riders on the road. Luke Durbridge, TT specialist, hasn't got the hill climbing. He did spend a few days in the break with the hills. Maybe his TT can outweigh that. It's more of a downhill kind of stage towards the end. 1 kilometer to go. He crosses the line in 10th. Nope, it's definitely more about hills. Koburade of Team Groupama FDJ has set the best time at the first time check, 8:39. Can he hold it to the line? He can. Groupama FDJ now lead by 9 seconds. Jonas Grigard of Team Mapai GB only 3 seconds down at the first time check. The Danish rider pulling out a great TT after spending a few days on the front working for Alexander Vlasov, who of course sits 3rd overall for the squad. ×2, we don't need to ×1 this. He finishes 3rd, 8 seconds down. Jonathan Lester, another great TT rider. Groupama FDJ comes in 6th. Tushvald now, definitely more of the climbers sort of day. 5th at the first time check. 5th at the end. Jesus Herrada, 17 minutes down. It won't upset the finishing won't upset the time on the finish line. Ben Herman's 6th, another Mapai rider, finishing 6th at the finish. Michael Storer, of course, he had that really bad day in the mountains, or else I think he would have been up there more. There we have it, the French road race champion, 8th at the first time check. Couldn't really use much of his punchy skills in this race, but good to see he's sitting a top 10 in the time trial. Another Groupama FDJ rider, another top 10 for them. Marco Brenner, German road race champion, not sitting a good time at the first time check. Mark Donovan, 11th outside the top 10. Kalmajan, only 7 seconds behind Barade at that first time check. Looks like he's still in it to win it. Can he wind it up, get a negative split on the second half of the course? We're almost up to the top 20 riders in the GC. Kalmajan doing strong here. Quite fast down this descent towards the finish line. Kalmajan takes 2nd at the finish line, 8 seconds behind Barade. Alessandro Covi, haven't seen much of him this race. I guess the only punchy stage Benut took that for GW Urco Shimano. Covi comes across the line in 5th. Ewan Costio, he spent a few days, well, yeah, I think it was in the break one of those days. Either way, we talked about him a few times. 4th at the first time check. Can he keep it up to the finish line? He can. 3rd place, he's bettering himself. William Lesurf, he's a name for the future. Unfortunately, not doing the greatest this so far. And 20th currently overall in GC. Chris Hamilton's about to make it to the first time check. What's it looking like for him? 32 seconds down. He must not be having a good day. Bokeh Mollema, 4th, 3 seconds down. Well done to him. He was absolutely beautiful the last few stages. He's been pushing some punches, attacking, making the race quite interesting. Guessbet losing 39 seconds also, so Mollema could be moving up the GC. Possibly not into the top 10, but definitely up from where he is currently. Geez, that's 19% that climb there. Bloody hell. Not a good time for him. Once he finishes, we'll roll on back and see what's happening with the other contenders. Mollema finishes in 4th. Berthert 7 seconds down. Looks like a new rider has rolled through, taking the best time. That must be Remco. Wout Poels losing a minute. Van Gils 32. Yes, Remco Evenepoel, the world champion for Pink Soudal Quickstep, setting the best time at the first time check. By how much? By frickin' 23 seconds to his teammate Van Wilder, who is 11th overall. Van Wilder, of course, second in that youth classification. Both of these riders have to make up about over a minute, possibly even actually 2 minutes to get up to the victory. Remco sitting at blistering time, 77 kilometers an hour on the descent. Well done to him. Also bonus points for wearing white shorts, especially in the rain. Wonder how he feels about his choices when he will step up on that podium. He, of course, has the best time, 41 seconds ahead of Barade. Remco Evenepoel will win the stage, likely, but I'm not sure how he will fare in the overall. Van Wilder takes second, 32 seconds down. Krohn, who's 10th overall, losing a minute at the first time check. De Plus losing 37 seconds, but Lander, he's on a pretty good form. Not the best TTist, but pretty good mountain climber. He's losing 22 seconds at that first time check. I mean, it is to Remco, so the question will be, how will it stack up against the other GC contenders? He finishes second, 25 seconds down. Benoit not looking too flash, losing a minute at the first time check. Bilbao only losing 30 seconds. Remember, these riders need to try and gain time on the likes of O'Connor, Vlasov, and McNulty, I think. McNulty, 5th. Remember, he lost at 7 seconds, the American national champion. He's closest to Remco at this stage, 22 seconds down. Here's O'Connor, 4th overall. He's 35 seconds down at the first time check. Could be losing a few positions today. Alexander Vlasov losing 34 seconds at the first time check. He's not on a good day. He's got pretty strong TT. Unlucky for him. Vanquilin doing a pretty reasonable TT, losing 33 seconds. The question is, how far behind is Ciccone? Ciccone is doing a wondrous TT, only 28 seconds behind. Looks like Ciccone is going to hold on to his yellow jersey. Remco Evenepoel takes the win ahead of Brandon McNulty, Mika Landa and Van Wilder. Ciccone in 5th. Bloody brilliant TT from Ciccone. If we take away the Remco time, only losing 12 seconds to McNulty, which he was 30 seconds ahead of. Well done to Ciccone. McNulty moves up to 2nd, O'Connor moves to 3rd, Vanquilin to 4th, and Vlasov down to 5th. Unlucky for him. Remco finds himself moving into the top 10, 8th, as does Van Wilder and Laurens de Plus on the same time. Mountain jersey, of course, Ivan Kobo once again on the podium. There were no points on offer on today's stage. Vanquilin takes first equal in the points classification with Gil Ciccone. Jeez, well done Vanquilin. Well done Ciccone to take those points in today's time trial. Vanquilin, of course, in youth, what a beautiful jersey. Remco up to 2nd, 33 seconds down. And Bahrain Victorious is our team classification winner. Well done to all the winners and all the losers on today's stage. Well done to Remco, making up a deficit from the last few stages. Vlasov will have to go back and work on your TT. Although you're better than a lot of these guys. Jeez, Covey beat Vlasov. Jeez, and Grigard. Vlasov must be on a bad day. Unlucky for him. Either way, well done to the finishes there. Here's the GC. Top 20 on the screen. I will post the top 60 in that channel. Vakul and Vlasov losing 2 places. McNulty up 3, O'Connor up 1, Landa up, Bilbao up, Evenepoel, Van Wilder up to plus. Down, big loser Benoot out of the top 10, Kron out of the top 10. Very, very sad day for them. Looks to be not too many other big changes in the GC. Thomas Dennis still last by just under 20 minutes. But thanks for tuning in, people. So so bad. Thanks, Katilis. I hope you have a good rest of your day, everyone. Top 60 in GC. Points classification. Shikani, of course, gaining those points in the TT. Mountain, no points on offer in the stage. Well done to Ivan Kobo of Team Mitchelton Premier Tech. Young Rider. Vakulin, that Young Rider jersey looks very, very beautiful. It's a beautiful bluey purpley colour. And team classification. Oh, Groupama FDJ overtake Team Kubate Sake in the final time trial. Well, like I said, enjoy the rest of your days. Thanks for joining me. Ka-chow.